I think, what is that? We got a fighting type, a flying steel type, maybe a rock ghost with the mask there, and then heatsink. That's got to be like fire steel, right? So this is a Pokemon game. Hey there, folks. Because I was confused about what some of the things were in this game, I thought it might be fun to read the manual on the video here, so we could all be brought up to date on what exactly everything is in this game, and maybe we might learn how to play a little better while we're at it. So let's head to the manual. Alright, so... okay, it looks like what we have here is some very cute cover art. I believe the guy with the blazing bee on his chest must be Captain Beeble himself. He's got a bubble helmet on, which is... just call him Captain Bubble. I think the thing I like most about this picture is what the enemies look like. So in the previous videos, I was calling them bugs or viruses or aliens. And I feel like this image hasn't clarified anything at all. So what we have here is like a rocket jet with a drill nose, which looks kind of like a Pokemon, maybe. This guy here, wow, look at that. Whoosh, look at that stream behind him. He just flew in at Captain Beeble real fast with his punching gloves. So we have a noodly-eyed flying snail with angry teeth and boxing gloves on. Wow, that's sophisticated. I'm impressed with that guy. Under Captain Beeble here, we have this T-shaped unit down here that he looks kind of like a heat sink that you might put on your CPU if it was burning too hot. So you're just gonna get this guy to help you out. And then over here we have like an Ooga Booga type of mask that just got blasted to heck. So hopefully that clarifies what the enemies are. They're either Pokemon drill nose jets, boxing glove snails, Ooga Booga masks, or heat sinks for your computer. That's great cover art. I'm glad we checked this out. Alright, let's read this. Try not to be distracted by this www.atarimania.com. That is where I got this manual, so kudos to that site for keeping track of video game history that way. So, our mission is to guide Captain Beeble, if that is his real name, through the various underground caverns, retrieve the crystal, and return it to the CPU. Crystal processing unit. This is a future world sort of CPU where C stands for crystal. Shoot all the bugs. Okay, so they're bugs. Alright, you heard it here first. All of them are bugs. So shoot all the bugs for extra points and to make life easier. Nothing makes an easy life like shooting bugs with a laser gun. Do not make contact with anything which is the same color as the bugs. Okay, so our theory before is right, that white is the danger color in this game. Who knows what that means? Bonuses at the end of each section. I assume a section is a level. 100 for every bug if you kill them all. Okay, so I think what this is saying that only if you kill all the bugs do you get this bonus. 100 for every 10 units of fuel remaining if you complete a section without losing a life. I think I was wrong in my first video. In my first video, I declared that you could not finish a mission unless you killed every bug. But I think what the manual is outlining for us here is that it's kind of a relationship between time and bug killing. If you can finish the mission substantially faster by avoiding bugs, then your fuel bonus might overtake what you have earned. But usually the bugs are in the way, so it seems likely that killing the bugs is the more optimal strategy, unless you've got some weird stubborn bug that's just hard to kill. Press Option to pause game. So if you've never seen an Atari 130XE computer, it's got a row of buttons on the top, kind of like function keys, and one of them is Option. because that's what we name our keys in the 80s. And then there's select for slow mode. Okay, I do remember messing with the buttons and seeing that a little S would appear on the top left side of one of the counters there. So maybe we can gain an advantage in this game by using slow mode. So I might try that. Especially when the rocks and stuff are moving really fast. After the first time you collect the crystal, slow mode might help me react quicker. A bonus Beeble is awarded after each 10,000 points, and we did figure that as well. Inhome Software Incorporated, Mississauga, Ontario. Oh, this game was made in Canada. That's kind of fun. All right, I guess the first game, or one of the first games I ever played, was a Canadian game. It's kind of novel. We got another image here of the back of the box that looks like it contains some very important Beeble-related lore. So we see this is a 16K cartridge. That's interesting. The world is running very low on a rare mineral called borinium. Borinium? The only supplies to be found are in deep and dangerous underground caverns populated by a mutant species of bug. The only man courageous enough to try and retrieve this crystal is Captain Beeble. Again in quotes. Captain Beeble. The so-called Captain Beeble. Beeble must negotiate these subterranean passages and all their dangers until he locates the crystal, which is in a precarious state of imbalance. Once it is moved, the intrepid captain has only seconds to fly back and deposit the borinium in the safety of the crystal processing unit. Look at this screenshot here. I like how it's got the rounded edges of the CRT monitor and this like hazy blue glow. What an awful photo. I love it. To be played. Beautiful. So glad we checked this out. I feel like we learned some things. So the thing we're picking up is not a bomb, it's a crystal. Something is volatile about that crystal. The enemies we're facing are bugs, and the environments we're in are subterranean caves. Cool. And there's a slow mode. That could be useful. I'd like to maybe try this slow mode. There we go, I got it. Okay, so what, the enemies are slow? Or like the key? Oh, look! Oh my gosh! Okay, so the block is slow. And the enemies are slow. So if I need the enemies to move out of the way fast, or the block to move out of the way fast, Beeble effectively has like a time control device to slow things down. Because it's not always advantageous for the whole world to be slow. Okay, and I avoided killing one enemy, so we've proved there that we can finish a level without killing everybody. Okay, so when the wow, that's gonna help a lot. When the rocks are moving too fast, I should definitely have slow mode on. And when I need them to move faster, I can turn slow mode off. That's gonna make a huge difference. And it's not like a difficulty setting. This is like a power that Captain Beeble has. That's how I'm gonna. That's the deep lore on this game, is that Captain Beeble can control time. I have a feeling this is gonna up my my success chances by like 1,000,000,000%. And I'm moving a lot faster now because I'm ignoring the bugs. Well, let's say I'm ignoring some of the bugs. Alright, this part, it's the same strat every time and it always works, but it always makes me feel like I'm really quite cool. Alright, we made it through that. Oh. We have enough time, we might as well get our kill bonus. Because it's not going to cost us much time. Alright, crushing it. We're just leaving slow mode until we want it to be fast. That seems like a safer way to play. Forget that snake. I mean, who even needs it? We're not going to clip into the back rooms. That would be bad. So it's interesting, Captain Beeble himself does not slow down when slow mode is on. It's just the white bugs and rocks that slow down. That's not at all what I would have expected. I would have thought it was a sort of a universal slow for reaction time. And we see this snake is very manageable now. No! Darn bug. I tried to get down to shoot him, but he decided to move on me at that exact moment. Well, even with slow mode, we're not invincible. Alright, well, at least we've killed all the bugs. That's something. We're never doing this puzzle wrong again. Easy peasy. And we got our extra guy, our extra Beeble. Okay, because I'm waiting for this rock to come by. I'm going to turn off slow mode. Wow, look at all these bugs. The most I've ever seen in here before was 2, so this is pretty incredible. I'm gonna go up here, turn off slow mode again. Let the block come by. Alright, we got our crystal. And we got the slow block coming by just in time for us. Alright. Man, I almost feel like I'm cheating, but there's no difficulty levels in this game, and you turn this thing on and off at will. I feel like it's a strategy choice. And this game's hard enough, you know? I'm not looking to make it harder for myself for no reason. Alright, alright. We passed the top. Look at that. Look how stinking easy that is. Oh my gosh. Just first tried it like it was nothing. Are we gonna beat Captain Beeble like right now? Alright, let's clear the way, because these bad guys have been a problem in the past. They like to block Captain Beeble's way. Alright. Shouldn't be a problem anymore. Go, go, Captain Beeble. Gotta be careful through these areas. Even though I don't have that much time. 8 seconds, oh my gosh. I can't afford to kill all you guys. Ugh. Well, the good news is I got an extra guy just before I died, but really the problem is... Well, I'm going to save a lot of time. I have a lot of time now, at least. I just gotta not run into these walls. All right. 3, 2. All right. Made it. And we still got 5 lives left. Holy cannoli. Goodness sakes. So last time we got to this level, we died because we ran out of fuel. I found the pause button, by the way. So I have a problem with this level because it's got these L-shaped puzzle blocks. So let's get these 3 in view. So right now, the only way I know how to get through here is to... We can fly up. Here, I'll use my mouse. We can fly up through this one, push this one down, and then fly through this away. But currently, we don't have any idea how to get through the top here. So I just want to spend a minute to think about, is there a way we can get through the top? Because I felt like we got stuck by going through the bottom, and it's possible that if we can figure out a way to go through the top, we might be able to not get stuck. So let's think this through. If we go through the top one, we go down here. And then we're push down. And to left and here and go up. There's one. So I'm feeling like the bottom is the only way to get through here. I don't see any other path. So we're just going to go ahead and try that. Maybe we ran into trouble on the next section. So I think the reason why I called these guys viruses before is because they remind me a lot of the Dr. Mario viruses. Okay, here we have the next section. I love that I found the pause button because I can think this through without all my fuel running down. I've got 127, that's not so bad. Our goal is to get through either the top right section here or the bottom right section here. And right now we've got a few problems. The L-shaped puzzle block here is blocking our way forward, and the only way to move it out of the way is to go up. And so the only way we could come back through here is if we were able to get out of this place and go backward and then come back this way. I'm just going to go backward for just a taste. If we fly into this, we can make a path through the top, but there's no way to fly up this way because if we fly up this way, it'll make a barrier here. So I don't see how that's going to help us at all. But the problem with the top route is that if we go up through here, it's going to make a wall this way. So we have to go up through here, which is going to make a wall this way. And then if we go down through here, well, then we have a wall here. And we'll be able to push this one back down, but we won't be able to push this one. So we'll be stuck. We'll be trapped forever in this area right here. So I don't see how this is going to help us. I don't see any way that we can get through here. If we go here, down here, let's try to think outside the box for a minute. Yeah, well, the good news is we have 5 lives, right? So we can experiment and fail in a few ways. I'm going to go back a little bit. It's going to cost me some time, but I feel like it's worth seeing what our options are. Okay, well, it's good to know we can do that. What happens? This guy's such a pest. I've turned the volume down this time so that the fuel death sound isn't so bad. Let's keep going. Okay. That's one attempt. Let's try backtracking for a minute. Because we never make use of this one, and that feels like we're not quite doing something the way it needs to be done. Look, we never tried. And look, we can get out of this. Oh my gosh, and now we've opened up the top passage. Okay, okay. Well, it's not going to help for this time, but now we know exactly what to do. Let's, I was going to see if I could get a little more education on what's going to happen next, but, okay, so what was that? That was top first, then bottom, and then right, and then that, and then down, and then up. And then now this is the way we want to go. Oh, jeez. Captain Beeble, you're testing my intelligence and my patience. Alright, we're going to ignore those because we know that time's... Okay, what is this? Is this a boss? Is this supposed to be like a snake mouth or some kind of enemy? I feel like going through the middle is my best shot, rather than trying to go through the bottom. So I need to kill some bugs. Oh! And we got the crystal. Oh my gosh, okay. Can we go back through the top? I hope this is what... I hope this... Oh my gosh. This is not the way to do it. This is not the way to do it. I had to go through the bottom. See, that was like the whole reason why there's two paths. Because if I kick that up... Yeah. Dang it. Okay, so we gotta do it again. We got one more life. We're cutting it close on this. We should kill these guys. Ooh. Alright, let's go bottom. Alright, that worked. That worked. Oh my gosh, we made it. Alright, new personal best. Oh wait. Okay, hold on. This looks a lot like the first level. Hold on a sec. Oh, we just got an extra guy. Okay, this is absolutely the first level again, but with the white material all over the walls, which is awful. But what that means is that now the levels are just repeating. So we might be able to count this as a win. I got to the final level with the final boss, and so maybe we can consider this a victory. That said, I am still curious. I want to see how hard exactly these levels are, because we've done a lot of bumping on the ground, and I just feel like maybe the game wasn't really made to be finished with all the walls being instant death, you know what I mean? If I feel like it's so unfair that I want to stop playing because I just don't think it's designed to be winnable, and who knows with these games, there's plenty of games that were made that were just never intended to be really finished. Let's continue and see where we get. Yo, I'm pressing that. This thing is too slow. I don't know what I would do without the slow-mo on. It'd be crazy right now. With all the walls being poisoned. Okay, I need that rock to hurry up. Alright, we made it through the first level without a death. Oh my gosh, 1 second to spare. Oh. That almost killed me, dude. I just got bonked off of the death explosion of one of the bugs. That's messed up. It's interesting that the wall death color is different than the regular death color. Like, the regular death color is this very bright white. Okay. Ooh, good timing there. Alright. So far, this seems very doable. Wait. Whoop. Mostly thanks to slow mode. I mean, those rocks and stuff moving... Oh, no! See, that's on me for not killing the bugs, dude. If I just killed the bugs, I would not have died there. Man, before I thought you had to kill all the bugs, but now I'm just like, I want to kill them because it makes the game harder. Nothing makes an easy life like shooting bugs with a laser gun. Yeah, so before, like, I felt like most of my deaths were because of how fast the rocks were moving. And with the ability to turn on, like, slow mode, it really changed the difficulty of the game. And, but I do think it's interesting that slow mode isn't always optimal, because you do sometimes want those rockets to move faster, because otherwise they block your path for way too long. Alright, we made it another level, another day, another dollar. We're halfway to our next extra life, so maybe we can get quite a bit further. Oh, see, this is the part I was worried about. Like, I don't see how I can get through here, you know? This seems ridiculous. I don't know, man. I mean, I made that, but it still seems ridiculous. Holy crap. And I got way more bugs. Alright, let's get on with it. Oh, no way. Can't believe I did that first try. That was the part I was most worried about in the whole game, honestly. Because usually I use the bumping on the ground to get that, like, pixel perfect precision. But with no setup, it was just all... I just had to... Oh, I accidentally hit the pause button. Just had to rely all on my own control. Get out of the way, bugs. Oh my gosh.
Bruh.
No. Oh, the bump. He bumped me and I was... Oh, I'm going to get the bonus? No. Oh, goodness. Wow. Well, honestly, with slow mode on, I'm actually not intimidated by this game anymore. And I feel like maybe next time I play, I think I might get the W. Now that I know what's going on. That puzzle at the end that stole like 4 lives from me because the weird pattern I had to follow. Now we're not going to lose any lives on that anymore, I think. So, all right. I'm going to call this the end of Captain Beeble, round 2. And I think next time we're going to get to the real end, the true ending. All right. Thanks for coming back to enjoy another session of Captain Beeble with me. I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things I've been thinking about in regards to some of the great things that this game has going for it all the way back from 1983. First off, I got to mention the smooth scrolling gameplay. So if you began playing games at the NES or later, you might take something like smooth scrolling for granted, but all of the even early DOS IBM compatible computers just didn't really have the graphical support. Smooth scrolling wasn't really something that you got to see in PC games, and so a lot of people thought of, you know, PC games as the kinds of games that are like complex RPGs and strategy games where you click on things, whereas console games were like fast action where you ran around and jumped. So the fact that on the Atari in 1983 at the time, it already had smooth scrolling gameplay on this PC that could be used for business shows that in a way that this machine was ahead of some of its competitors. I think it wasn't until Commander Keen that programmers really made PC games do some smooth scrolling. And even then, it wasn't quite as smooth as like what you see in Mario 3. The other thing I want to point out is that is how much I appreciate the multiple systems that make it enjoyable when all those systems intertwine to influence your gameplay choices. So the first one is kind of the most obvious, which is the points system, where you get an extra Beeble every 10,000 points. And so that by itself incentivizes the player to either finish a level as quickly as possible to earn extra points for having extra fuel, or to stick around a little longer and get those extra kills and eliminate all the bugs. And I love how those things are in direct opposition to one another, because as you saw during this playthrough, now that I know that you don't actually have to kill all the bugs, it was in my nature to just avoid them and move on. But which strategy is the correct strategy is actually kind of hard to say. And I like that the game's reward system allows you to experiment with that choice of if you're going to prioritize speed or kills to maximize your point gain. So I think that's cool. There's some playstyle choice there to be had. Last session, we also learned that the first time you retrieve the crystal, the rocks and other obstacles in the level move faster on your way back. Now, the reason why I think this is a cool system is because you've got this time pressure with the crystal. That's one added element. Generally speaking, backtracking in games is considered kind of boring. You've already been through there, you've already solved the problem, and now you're just retreading territory you've already conquered. And that's more or less true in Captain Beeble, because you've probably killed most of the bugs that are going to be in your way, and you know what the obstacles are going to be. But because how the game's gravity and momentum system works, you might be traveling up versus traveling down. So that's some additional challenge added to the return level design. You're exploring the space in a way that you haven't had to explore it before by going back. But also because the rocks and things are moving faster, even though you know where those obstacles are, you might have to employ a different strategy, or you might benefit from going through a different route because the speed is different. So I think that's really cool. What we learned about this session by having that slow-mo button, that adds yet another dynamic where you have to make the choice, this thing is moving faster now, I'm going to have to be more agile and get out of the way more quickly, versus being stuck behind it because it's moving slow. Whereas if it's moving faster, you can get to the exit faster. And so there's an incentive to do that because your crystal countdown is going on. So I just think that this is a well thought out, elegant balance of systems. Bob Connell, the creator of this game, I felt like he really thought through all these things. The game is more than the sum of its parts because of that. So I think it's a well-designed game for its time. The last thing I want to call out about Captain Beeble is just that the game takes advantage of its level design structure, where every level is different than the last, and adds a sort of unique gimmick to each one, so that the experience feels fresh and interesting as you complete one level to the next, and each level is memorable on its own. So it'd be really easy in a game like this to make, a series of levels that are more or less the same as one another just to pad for content. But Bob didn't do that. Bob made sure that there was a pretty unique selection of challenges that didn't really repeat from level to level. And you can see certain elements reused. We only have 2 levels that use those L-shaped door puzzle blocks. And there's 2 levels where you're chasing a block down a long hallway. But one of them has another block on the end of it that can disrupt that timing. And so it's sort of built on the challenge of the original mechanism rather than just replicating it. So a commitment to continued diversity in the level design is something that I think that Captain Beeble deserves some praise for. Of course, it's only 8 levels, so who knows how many ideas they would have left after that. But given how small the cartridge is, I'm not sure how many more levels it could have held anyway. Lastly, in regards to level design, I respect that they had something that might be considered a boss. Of course, you don't fight with it. You can't shoot it to kill it. But it was, I would say, arguably the single most challenging moving obstacle to dodge, because the way that the top and bottom of those jaws could be out of sync, you had to be very reactive to it. And I have you know, the slow-mo advantage is something that any player might have had, but I've also got the advantage of having a D-pad here on my Xbox controller, so it probably would have been much harder on the joystick, and so I think it's great that they had that challenge at the end. And I guess finally, the poison on the walls is something that really does add one more layer of precision to the game, and as we saw, it doesn't make the game impossible. And so that's really cool too. It's just those who have mastered the game, especially using the slow-mo, people who want a little extra challenge, we've got it there in Captain Beeble, and you've got to really get a perfect run to make sure you've got enough lives to survive through that final challenge. Hats off to Captain Beeble. Looking forward to my next play session with you. Next time, I'm going to be diving back into Ball Blazer and seeing if I can beat droids 4 through 9. And because I've got all my emulation set up this time, hopefully I'll be able to do it all in one go. But I guess we'll see. Cheers. Thanks for watching.